In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Dear students, I hope you are quite safe and are paying attention to your studies. This is the 5th week of the session 2020 to 2021 and I welcome you all to English Literature class. As you know that we are studying Unit 3, Robinson Crusoe. Dear students, we have already studied the first 6 paragraphs of the story of Robinson Crusoe. Today, we will read the story until the end of the unit. But, before we move forward, let's recapitulate the important points of the previous lecture. Dear students, the first paragraph of this unit is about the author of the novel Robinson Crusoe. Yes, it gives a brief introduction to Daniel Defoe. The second paragraph tells us how a terrible storm hits Robinson Crusoe's ship just after 2 weeks of his voyage and destroys it. The third paragraph describes Robinson Crusoe's struggles in the stormy sea to rescue his life. The fourth paragraph tells us how he spends his first night between the 2 branches of a tree to save himself from the wild animals. The fifth paragraph is about his first day on the island. It tells us how he finds a source of water to quench his thirst and plans to visit the wrecked ship. The sixth paragraph is about his first trip to the wrecked ship to collect some useful items. It tells how he makes a small raft to bring bread, rice, and cheese to the island. Dear students, this is a summary of the previous lecture. Let's read from the second paragraph on page number 30. The next morning I walked along the shore and up a little hill. From there I could see that I was on an island. I was a prisoner, without a friend in the world. There was no one living on the island but wild beasts. The next day, I went back across the sea and brought more stores from the ship. Every day I toiled. I brought tools, wood, rope, nails, sails, and clothes, guns and ammunition, and sugar and flour and bread. In one of the wooden boxes, I found gold and silver coins. The sunshine made them sparkle. What use are you to me? I asked. Everyone in the world desires you but me. When I got back to my island I noticed that the sky was black. Great clouds rolled up from the west. The rain poured down. I saw the ship out at sea rise and then sink beneath a huge wave. Here we learn that Robinson Crusoe is alone on the island. He visits the wrecked ship, again and again, to bring more and more useful items to the island. In fact, he is preparing himself to stay there for an unknown period of time. Let's read the second last paragraph on page number 30. During the next few months, I busied myself in making a house with a strong stockade round it. I used one of the sails from the ship for the roof. I cut down tree trunks and carried them to the house, and slowly built a strong stockade to keep out wild animals. Dear students, here, we learn how Robinson Crusoe makes a house with a strong fence around it to save himself from the wild animals. It takes him few months to build a house. Now get ready to read the last paragraph on page number 30. The months passed in hard work, and one day I set out to explore the whole island. The journey took me 3 days, and when I got to the other side of the island, I found a delightful valley. There were wild grapes and limes, and I collected a quantity of these and took them back to my house. One day, in the forest not far from my house, I found some wild goats. I was just about to shoot one when I saw at my feet a baby goat. I picked it up and carried it home with me. In a few days, it became quite tame, and after that, it never left my side. Dear students, here we come to know that Robinson Crusoe goes out to discover the whole island. He finds a beautiful valley full of wild grapes and limes. He collects a large amount of these to take to his house. He also finds some wild goats and carries home a baby goat. Now, read the first paragraph on page number 31. After a year or two on the island, I decided to make a small boat. I chose the wood carefully, and cut and worked the timber for many months. I made a sail from some of the canvas I had brought on shore from the ship, and with a good wind, the boat sailed well. Dear students, in this paragraph, Robinson Crusoe explains how he works for many months to make a small boat. Let's read the last paragraph of the lesson on page number 31. I taught myself how to make pots out of mud, and how to make them hard and durable by burning them. I grew some corn and rice, and also some wheat, and I taught myself to make bread. My life on the island was a happy one. I had a good house, plenty to eat, and plenty of work to do. One day I was walking along the seashore thinking about my home across the seas, when I suddenly looked down. There, on the sand in front of me, was a clear footprint. It was not mine, but the footprint of another man. Extract from Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe, adapted. Dear students, here, Robinson Crusoe tells us more about his life on the island. He himself learns to make pots out of mud. He makes them hard and durable by burning them. He also grows some corn, rice, and wheat on the island to fulfill his requirement of food. In the end, we come to know that he sees the footprint of another man. If you want to know who the other man was, just read the complete novel of Robinson Crusoe. That's all for today. I hope that you have learnt the whole story of Robinson Crusoe. For better comprehension, I advise you to watch this video 2 or 3 times. See you next week with a new topic. Thank you and have a nice day.